Hello, everyone. This is Ross and Carpri again with Keller Williams Vestavia office, coming to you live with Andy Galliano from Gagliano Mortgage. One of the things we're going to talk about today is first-time home buyers. What should they look for? What are some of the things that they're wanting to know about the industry, about the real estate process, purchasing a home, getting qualified? And what I normally tell people is whenever you're a first time buyer or even a veteran buyer that you want to get a home, what I normally try to do is sit down with each individual, try to come up with a plan, look and see what their thoughts are, what they're looking at from a pricing standpoint, what they're looking at from a housing standpoint. Do they need a one level? Do they need a house with steps? Do they need a yard? Do they need level yard or any, a lot of different things in a home? There are all types of criteria out there, and there are all types of people that are looking for homes. So we try to gather information from them to help determine what's best for them, areas that they might be interested in, the pluses and negatives of different areas. And then also what we try to do is get the potential client set up with a mortgage lender, which in this case would be Andy Galliano with Galliano Mortgage. Just kind of go over what you qualify for. I always think it's best to know what price range we want to try to stay in to make the purchase comfortable. We never want anybody to purchase more than they can afford. We never want anybody to purchase something that is not really what they want. Our goal is to make sure that we fit the needs of the client, find them the home in the area that they want, in the price range that they can afford, and make the purchase as easy as possible. Now, it's anytime you purchase a home or even when you're selling a home, it's a stressful time. There's a lot of things to worry about. From the buyer's side, the things you need to worry about is how soon do you need to be out of your current location? If you're in an apartment, are you going to get a 30-day notice, 60-day notice, etc.? If you're in a home, is your house already on the market? Is it sold? Is it under contract? There's a lot of things that we have to look at because our job is to make it as seamless as possible and as easy as possible. But that's one of the things that we do is sit down and try to gather information enough to know where to go and how to get there. And one of the things will be to get pre-qualified with a lender. And in this case, I'll let Andy come on in just a second and kind of go over with you the things that he would look at. And then we put both our heads together and try to come up with a plan that best suits you. So if anybody has any questions about any of that and you want to talk more about it, you can call me at 205-601-0123. And I'll be more than happy to sit down with you and try to go over a plan that best suits you and your needs. And having said that, I'll turn it over to Andy. He can kind of give you an idea on what he looks at from his side of the fence and can tell you what's the best way to approach this.
Yeah, thanks, Ross. I appreciate you having me on again today. So it's kind of an interesting topic today because I had a discussion with a group yesterday, and we were talking about how fear can keep home buyers, especially first-time home buyers, on the sideline. And that fear is no one really wants to be told no. So because they don't want to be told no, oftentimes they won't do things like they won't reach out to me to have a conversation because they're afraid I'm going to tell them no. I made the comparison, and all the guys in the room chuckled when I said it. Most of them are married currently. And I said, all you guys stop and think about when you were single and how you hated to ask a woman out because you're always afraid you were going to be told no. And so a lot of times that fear of asking a woman out would just keep you from asking her out, period, because you didn't want to be the chance of being told.
Right.
So there's really not a whole lot of difference between that and being a first-time home buyer and having a conversation with a mortgage person to know, number one, can you buy right now? And number two, how much can you buy? So there's two chances you could be told no. You could be told no, you can't buy, or you could be told yes, you can buy, but you can only buy up to a $100,000 house instead of a $300,000 house like you might want to or need to buy.
Mhm.
So we were talking about that, and I said, one of the reasons that people are afraid of getting a no is because they don't have money for down payment. And so there's a lot of programs out there that are available today to assist people in coming up with a down payment to purchase a home. And it is called just that, it's down payment assistance.
Mhm.
And we've got several of those programs here at Galliano Mortgage. We use those to help a lot of first-time home buyers get into homes. Now, the deal typically is this, though, with down payment assistance, and it's something I want most home buyers to keep in mind. And that is most down payment assistance programs are going to give a little bit higher interest rate on the mortgage than what someone could get if they were putting a down payment. And that down payment can come from savings. It could come from a bonus at work. It could come from an income tax refund. It could come from a gift from a family member, from a relative. So there's a lot of sources for that those down payment funds, but one of those acceptable sources is down payment assistance. And you don't have to be a first-time home buyer to take advantage of some of those programs. You can take advantage of those programs even if your credit scores are as low as 600. You can, there are no income limits on some of these down payment assistance programs. So there's a lot of options out there to be able to overcome that hurdle of, hey, I don't have the money for down payment. I don't have the money for closing costs. Well, Ross can negotiate, you as a buyer, and Ross as your realtor can negotiate with the seller to get the seller to pay your closing cost for you. Or we even have some options to where the down payment assistance can give you up to 1.5% of the sales price of the home towards closing cost, in addition to 3.5% of the sales price of the home towards your down payment. So there's a lot of options out there. And that's the reason that I'm kind of harping on this, is that I want people watching this video to know that there are options, and what you don't know can hurt you.
Sure.
And if you don't know about these options that are available to you, and that's preventing you from buying a home today, and you're ready otherwise, then that can hurt you, because now, or I should say next year, after you've hopefully been able to save up some money, when you get ready to buy, that home that you're looking at today is going to cost you more money next year to buy it.
Mm-hmm.
And who knows where rates are going to be next year.
Right.
So, that's something that Ross and I talked about last week, is that right now is the time to buy. If you can buy, do it now.
Right.
And so there are options out there, and don't be afraid that you're going to get a no. And if you're afraid you're going to get a no or hear a no from me on the mortgage side, just call me just to have a conversation and gather some information. I do that for people a lot. They call me and they say, hey, I'm thinking about buying in 6 months. I'm thinking about buying in 12 months.
Mm-hmm.
And I just want to get ready today. I need some information today so that I know in
What
6
to do.
months or 12 months that I'm ready. And exactly, I know how to get to that point to where I will be ready.
Right.
So just reach out, make that call. It's not going to hurt. It'll be painless. We might even laugh a couple of times on the telephone. So it's something that if if someone's serious about buying a home, they need to go ahead and have that conversation sooner rather than later.
And tell them how to get in touch with you again, Andy.
Yeah. So I can be reached at 205-979-4412. I'm at extension 1.
Okay.
And if once I'm done talking to them, how can they reach you, Ross?
You can call me at 205-601-0123. And that's a great point Andy brought up. What we try to do at this stage is to determine, is it, I'm not going to say worth it, but is it the right time for you as a purchaser to buy? And we'd rather know that up front than to go into the process of looking for a home, finding a home that you and your wife and family love, and then find out that it's a little bit out of reach. We don't want that to happen. We want to get to a point that we know up front what you're capable of purchasing, what you will be comfortable with, so that when you do find that home that everybody loves, then we've got a green light to go ahead and try to pursue it. That's the best way to handle it. That way there's not any questions on the backside. Yeah. So again, that's very important that we help you beforehand, come up with a game plan, and then exercise the game plan best we can.
Yep.
So
awesome.
Andy, thank you so much for your time.
Yeah.
And
thank you.
If anybody has any questions, you know how to get in touch with us. And stay tuned next week.
Sounds good. See you next week, Ross.
Okay.
Bye, everybody.
Bye-bye.